I saw this comment on the Elden Ring Nightreign subreddit recommending a strat to solo Everdark Libra as Ironeye. The strategy is basically to use the Dark Knight of the Miasma relic, which contains Starting Frost effect, and then it has Frostbite in Vicinity Conceals Self. In order to essentially stall out Libra, what you're going to do is you're going to upgrade your starting weapon to Legendary by playing the Crater Shifting Earth, and run away from Libra during most of the fight so that you bait his attack where he teleports to you as the player and away from the Condemned that he summons. For the most part, you're going to be trying to avoid the Condemned altogether. Ideally, they basically never really get a hit on you or chase you at all. You might take a couple of stray bow hits, but that's going to be about it. I believe the Frostbite in Vicinity Conceals Self effect is also being used in order to avoid any like extended aggro with the Condemned. So I went ahead and decided to try it for myself. I'm not an Ironeye main. I'm not that experienced with the character. I certainly made a lot of mistakes. I didn't have a great expedition. That said, still managed to make it to level 15 and get myself into the fight. The commenter on Reddit, PC9000, states that it took him about 3 minutes to beat this fight. In my experience, I was having some difficulty getting Libra to actually perform the teleport attack. It seems that if you're too far away, he won't do it, so it took me a little while to learn that I have to approach him at least enough to get him to potentially use it, which definitely extended my fight timeline quite a bit. I also just got hit and downed and stuff a couple of times. But for the most part, yeah, once you get him teleporting towards you, you know, those are your opportunities to attack him until he stops and summons new Condemned. Then you repeat the process, you run very far away, and then kind of approach again until he eventually teleports, takes the bait, teleports on you, and then you continue fighting him. Kind of turns him into an easier version of his original fight because you're not doing the bubble thing and you're mostly dealing with his original moveset. The effects that he does in Everdark form still come into play. I've wondered as a result of this experience now if the effects actually also have to do with player behavior or are baited in some way. I spent a lot of time quite far away from Libra and I received Inescapable Eye like over and over and over again, which also is a bit of a thing. Inescapable Eye is actually, it can be a little bit difficult to deal with just because if you're not close enough to Libra for him to be, you know, casting his madness seals under your feet and stuff like that, then he won't actually be generating a lot of those crystals that recover madness around you, which means that could actually build up and trigger on you quite easily. So when Inescapable Eye comes out, it's definitely a sign that like you need Libra to be doing something so that there's madness crystals you pick up. Getting close enough to him to have him set his traps and stuff is good. I stalled it out a couple of times by just, you know, getting close enough that he starts putting the sigils under my feet, and then, you know, I would dodge them and go back in and get the crystals. But yeah, for the most part, it is a completely viable way to solo Everdark Libra. It didn't take me 3 minutes like it took PC9000. Actually, it took me 14 minutes and 37 seconds. But, you know, skill issue. If you're a better player than I am, you'll be able to do it much faster. So yeah, I just wanted to share this if anyone's struggling with it. I got my first win in a trio. I think that's completely valid as well. You can have a super good run. I've sort of theorized that duos might be a bit of a sweet spot because the maximum amount of Condemned invaders would be 4 instead of 6. But if you're struggling to get the win and you really want to lock it in before the Everdark Sovereigns rotate and he becomes temporarily unavailable again, you know, you could give this a try. It might be the way to do it. All right, thank you.